guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been so long since I've done a tutorial, but I'm glad to be back. So first, what you always want to do is put your foundation on. Prior to filming, I already moisturized and primed my face. Here I'm using my favorite Fit Me foundation by Maybelline, and I'm using a beauty sponge to blend it all out. To conceal, I'm using two different kinds. The Maybelline one is closer to my skin tone, so I'm using it to conceal any extra blemishes or redness, and the RIMMEL one is just for highlighting. To set my face, I decided to do some baking. I like to bake underneath my eyes, on my T-zone where I get oily the most, and underneath the hollows of my cheek as a guideline for contouring. I like to use a dry beauty blender for this. To bring back the color of my face, I'm going to do some bronzing in the hollows of my cheek, around my temples, and underneath my jawline, which I'll do later. And then I like to go in with a fluffy brush to blend it all out. To add more color to my face, I'm just going to put some blush on the apples of my cheeks. Now I'm going into my powder brush to dust away the baking we did. I like to use the excess powder to help blend away the bronzer and blush that we just applied. Because I don't like looking super matte, I need to add that glow to my face. So here I'm highlighting the high points of my cheeks as well as my temple, on my cupid's bow, and the bridge of my nose as well as the tip of it. And then I'm going back into that powder brush and just blending the excess powder away. I like to use Fix Plus to set down my makeup and look less powdery. To prep our eyes for eyeshadow, I'm using a primer which helps intensify your shadows, and here I'm using Soft Ochre by MAC. Now you always want to set your primer, so use any eyeshadow that's closest to your skin tone. I'm just using the one in the chocolate bar palette because that's the palette I'll be using today. You want to remember that when starting cut creases, all the brushes you'll be using are going to be smaller than you're used to because we want to keep a nice precise line. Starting with our darkest shadow, you want to use the angled brush to create a line right above your crease. So where I'm pointing was my crease, and here as you can see it's slightly above. I'm following the natural contours of my eye shape. If you have monolids or hooded eyes and don't happen to have a crease, just take that end of the brush and ever so gently push into your eye socket, and wherever you feel that dip is going to be your crease. So just create a line above that dip. Because I'm going to create a wing liner later, I'm just going to end that line where my eye ends. Going in with the lightest shadow, I'm going to go in with that precision brush by BH Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna follow that line and lightly blend through. You want to make sure you don't blend underneath that line. Everything you blend is going to be on top of the line to create that cut crease effect. Another thing to remember about cut creases is practice and patience is key, so don't get frustrated if you don't get it right the first time. Going in with a medium shade in the same brush, I'm literally going to tap that brush into the shadow once, and I'm going to follow through and blend that same line. You want to blend and blend and blend until you're happy with how it looks. I'm also going with a smaller blending brush and just blending out that line. Moving on to the star of the show, I'm using these two Kat Von D pigments, and I used Fix Plus or any setting spray you have to adhere it to my eye. I tried using glitter glue and it just wasn't working out. It was becoming too clumpy. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you had trouble keeping that line above your crease, then you can always use a pigment or glitter, whatever you're using, to help clean up that cut crease. Going back into the darkest shade and your angled brush, you just want to redefine that cut crease line that might have been lost after all that blending and the pigment we used. To create that nice dramatic wing, you want the tail of your liner to meet the end of your cut crease line, and then just, connect the dots and continue your wing liner as you usually would. So I applied my lashes off camera because the struggle was real that day, but for your lower lash line first, I went in with the lightest shade and I took that all the way down to where the bags of my eyes are, and then I'm going in with the medium shade and then the darkest shade. Then I went in with some mascara. Since this is a neutral eye, you can really do whatever lip you want, but this is my favorite at the moment. And guys, if you made it this far, I want to thank you all for watching. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you all so much. I hope to see you guys in my next tutorial, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!